Hey, and welcome back to CC Convos. Today I'm going to give you a little bit of an update and a plant tour, so come along. So the first plant we're going to talk about is my philodendron splendid. I have it on this moss pole, and honestly I'm going to make a video about moss poles because I have mixed feelings about them. But as of right now, this one is just mostly dry. I'm using it as more of like a support system so that the leaves can get larger. This leaf is a little damaged because when I was making the moss pole, it was scraping against the concrete. But here's the newest leaf. It's looking really pretty. Honestly, this plant is very easy to take care of and it grows pretty fast. At the bottom here, it looks like there might be another plant that's like shooting out from the base. So we'll see. If you've watched any of my previous plant tours, you'll notice that my plant collection is ever changing. But this is a new plant that I've got. And I actually got this from my aunt. She grows African violets. And she gave me this one and it was full of blooms, but then the blooms all fell off and now I'm gonna have a ton more. I'm gonna create a video later on this channel of kind of the care for this plant. I got this little pottery from a little like market. Somebody handmade this little puffer fish. And I just thought it was so cute. There's a little cat hair on its nose. And they sold these little air plants inside. So this was the first air plant I've ever owned. And it's been doing pretty well in this. So there he is. My plant collection is ever changing because I buy a plant, then I like it for a while, I get tired of it, I make cuttings, I sell them. And honestly, my view on houseplants has changed a lot since I started this hobby over 6 years ago. Now I prefer plants that are low maintenance and I don't have to worry so much about. I don't want to have to worry about pests or having to water it a certain way. I really just like plants that look pretty all the time, do their own thing. When I think about watering them maybe every couple of weeks or once a month, they're still happy. And honestly, this rubber tree is one of those plants. One of my cats loves to like come up in this window when they're wrestling. She likes to run up here and kind of escape from the other cat. And one day she fell onto this plant. So this is 3 plants in one and broke off the top. But when she did that, she actually encouraged the plant to branch out. So it has a little branch here, and this is the other branch. It has quite a bit of leaves. I'm gonna make a video later talking about kind of this setup. I cat-proofed this pot and this stand, and so I'm gonna talk about that later, how I can have this and it be so sturdy. But that plant's just in this corner, and then up here is a floating shelf with the violet and a little air plant. Now this is another section of plants, and right here is my staghorn fern. I love this plant. It is actually pretty low maintenance. I ended up buying this dish from Ross for about $7, and then I put tung oil on it. So the tung oil helps waterproof it. And then I used some nails, some sphagnum moss, and then moss that I found outside that I wrapped around the sphagnum moss. And I just water this like once a week, soak it, but I spray it with a little bottle every couple days, every day. And it's growing some new shields and new growth. I've had this for over a year and it is just low maintenance. It looks pretty. I really love this one. Here's another rubber tree that I have on this little, this is actually a cabinet that I've turned sideways to make a little shelf. And this rubber tree is just so low maintenance. As you can see, I put the rocks on top of the soil on this one as well. This has a couple damaged leaves because when I first got it, my cats were just tearing it up. But now they don't mess with it, and it has a bunch of these little new leaves coming out. Inside this little cabinet, I have a little terrarium that I made. So this is a little jar from Walmart, and inside I put some sphagnum moss, some charcoal, and then I put some moss that I found outside in here, and one of my philodendron splendid cuttings I placed inside. Then over here in this corner, I have a ZZ plant. I've had this one for a long time. It's never been repotted. It's pretty root bound, but honestly, it's still happy. It has tons of new growth that has been coming out. I just watered this yesterday, so honestly, when this plant starts to droop, as you can kind of see these stalks of leaves kind of fall over, that's when I water it. And then I just rotate it so that they grow towards the light. Then all of them will start to stand back up. This plant is so nice on the desk, and it is so low maintenance. I probably water this thing once a month. So I did have a Monstera tie here in the bedroom, but now I don't have anything, and I'm actually going to show you that plant. It's on my patio. So I had a Monstera tie on my nightstand, but I took it off because the lighting in my bedroom, it's a south-facing window, and kind of the angle of the nightstand and the window, the Monstera started to get pretty leggy. It started growing out towards the light, so it was taking over my whole nightstand. And so I decided that I was just gonna cut it, make cuttings, and I was gonna sell some of the cuttings. I had this pothos inside hanging from my ceiling, and it was pretty nice, but it just, I don't know, I'm just not really a fan of it anymore, so I think I'm gonna sell it. So right now it's just outside, kind of out of the way. And then I have a little pilea out here and a couple of Hoyas. I really like Hoyas, and I would love for them to flower for me, but when I have Hoyas inside, I've never even got them to grow a leaf. But as soon as I put them outside, they seem to do really well. Another new plant that I recently got is this, I think it's a Chinese elm bonsai tree, and I saw it at Lowe's. It was only like $12, and I was like, wow, this is super nice. It had a nice curve in it, and as soon as I brought it home, like within a week, all the leaves started falling off. I put it in a nice window, and I don't know what happened. Like maybe I put it into shock, maybe the growing conditions were different. So now I put it outside. Because a lot of people that grow bonsais on YouTube, I see that they grow them outside. So I put it outside, and I'm just monitoring it to water it every week. So far it's not looking very good, but I'll keep y'all updated on. Hopefully I figure it out. Thank you for watching, and I'm sorry I haven't uploaded in a while, but I have some videos planned that I'm going to be uploading soon, so please subscribe and join me for some more videos.